Whipping all this dope up in the trap house. We fuck all you bitches at the trap house. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. It don't mean that be like Jerry Stacker. I might fall in love with my trap house.
Stay savage, your boy Cino Bentro. What's poppin'? Today we are back, and honestly, I've been thinking, right? We saw yesterday's episode of Boruto 79, when Boruto finally got the reunion with Mitsuki. He finally caught up to the bootleg Sound Ninja 4, aka the new experiments, Kokuyo and Seike, as well as Ino and Shikadai, as well as Chocho. Basically, were helping them fight. You know, they were supposed to go to the Leaf Village, but they didn't. They all showed up in that one location. You know, obviously Boruto and Sarada went ahead to confront Mitsuki and shit like that. But there's like this weird thing that's just pondering in my head, right? Everybody was completely shocked at the way Mitsuki reacted. He used lightning snake jutsu on Boruto, which was completely out of the blue. You know, we were all shook. Like, we saw him use that snake lightning jutsu, and we were just like, yo, did Mitsuki really attack Boruto? Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because if you guys watch the series from, you know, the beginning of the Academy arc when Mitsuki was first introduced, Mitsuki has been somebody who's been very fond of Boruto, and he appreciates Boruto as a whole. Now, I know in the comment section of the previous video, I see a lot of people talking about, you know, Boruto and how he was hurt. He was probably hurt that Mitsuki did something like that to him. He's probably distraught. He got his heart broken because, you know, he went out there looking for his friend, and he thought his friend had his back, and then he kind of got hit with the snake run lightning shit, and it was like, okay, damn. All right, this man really betrayed me. I know Garuga probably got a kick out of it because he keep trying to tell to Boruto that, you know, betrayal is something that comes when you have friendship. When you have friends, people betray you, and that's something you have to get used to. And you're living in a kid world if you don't think certain people will betray you, right? So everybody's all hung up on that, right? Everybody's hung up on the fact that Boruto got hit with the snake lightning jutsu. But what about Mitsuki? Mitsuki has defended Boruto time and time again. Mitsuki has been there for Boruto as a friend, as a companion. He's tried to do a lot of different things to help Boruto throughout the series. He talked to Boruto about a lot of different things. He even got information from Suigetsu to help Boruto take down the 7 deadly ninja swordsmen in the school trip arc. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things where it was like, you know, we had Mitsuki going through like these big ass lengthy things to help Boruto, and he always looked out for Boruto's best interest. If you guys remember when the Chunin exams were taking place in the Otsutsuki invasion attack, we saw Mitsuki potentially going into his Sage mode. My man was about to tap into that unknown power that we all been having question marks about. We have a glimpse of an idea what it is, but we don't know anything completely about it. You know, we were all completely shook regarding that power, and it's something that we all don't know anything about. And regarding that, you know, we're gonna be able to see how Mitsuki truly feels regarding the series and regarding different things with Boruto. I think as a whole that Mitsuki may potentially be more hurt than Boruto is, because if you look at how things are, you know, playing out for my boy Boruto in this series, it was like, you know, Mitsuki always had his back. So I think Mitsuki more so got hurt by the fact that he had to hit the person that he considers his closest friend, you know, with a lightning snake jutsu. You know, he had to attack this man. He had to put him down. Now, mind you, the title is called, you know, Mitsuki's Secret Plan to Save Boruto and Sarada. Now, I bet you're wondering, what do you mean secret plan? What are you talking about, Shino? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. What you're saying doesn't make sense. But if you look at the previous episode, right, and you look at how Mitsuki did things, if you look at how the fights were going between Kokuyo and Shikadai Inojin and Chocho, you know, Shikadai Inojin versus Kokuyo, you know, that man was fucking them up. He was like destroying them. You know what I'm saying? Then Boruto and Sarada was having a very hard time fighting against Seike until Boruto summoned the snake. Obviously summoned Garuga. You know, Garuga didn't actually do anything, but then when Boruto told Garuga get lost, things got a little critical for him. So now he had to be on the more of a defensive side, and he kind of tried to avoid Garuga's tail, you know what I'm saying? And then like you saw when his little power start to weaken or whatever, and he felt like he was hurt, right? he basically let his guard down and Boruto could have killed him. And I feel like if Boruto would have killed him, Kokuyo probably would have went nuts. And not to mention, Kokuyo seems to be more serious than Seike, because Seike seemed to be playing around because he was more so interested in Boruto and he was really curious about his character. But if Kokuyo was there, there was no way they could beat both of them because they were already struggling to fight Seike. So the best way to, completely get these guys to not kill Boruto would to be to knock him out himself. So Mitsuki used the right amount of lightning style just to put Boruto unconscious while also gaining the trust of the enemy so he can see what's going on with their plan. I think he's more interested in what secrets they're talking about regarding his creation, what secrets they're talking about and regarding his will and like who he is, you know what I'm saying? So he's probably going with them to figure that out, but it was more so to protect Boruto, because if Boruto would have still been able to move, you know what I'm saying, I feel like Kokuyo would have just faded him. He just might as well had just not even like been there at the whole point, because Seike and Kokuyo in the same spot is dangerous. And that brings me to like what's supposed to happen up next. Like, unless Boruto, Sarada, and Shikadai, or Inogen, all of them come up with like some fire ass strategy, some fire ass tactics, I don't see them beating Kokuyo or Seike. These guys are way out of their league, and it's kind of sad to say, because when we look at Boruto, we've seen Boruto handle things really well. Now I'll also say this a bit, Boruto does get rather beat up by his first encounters with people. It seems like when he leaves and come back, he seems a little bit more prepared, because when he usually first encounters somebody, he kind of gets smacked up, but it's usually in that final conclusion where his will never lets him give up. That's when we see him do some shit. It's kind of like Batman, if Batman fights somebody without preparing, Batman gets slapped, but Batman goes back, get the suit that basically suits his ability to go and fight that enemy, and then he can take that enemy down. And that's kind of what we saw with Boruto and a lot throughout the series. So now I'm just kind of worried to see what's going to go down, because when we saw him fighting against Seike and Kokuyo, he was completely out of the league. So the whole plan for Mitsuki was just to knock him out. That way, he can basically protect Boruto and Sarada, because if he didn't do that, I feel like Kokuyo probably would have just faded him, or Seike would probably just got more upset by the things that he was saying, and they would just ended him, because both of those people in the same spot would be dangerous. Now, they may have a better chance of fighting against Kokuyo and Seike individually, but not together. Not to mention, there's still 2 more experiments that are quote-unquote associated with their group and Lord Ku. So there's a lot of things that we don't know. There's a lot of unknowns regarding that. We still don't know what's driving Mitsuki to do these things, but I feel like Mitsuki is having a secret agenda. I talked about this in my review of episode 79. I talked about how Mitsuki may be working on the orders of Orochimaru to go ahead and stop them and cease them from making other synthetic humans, or like, figure out what's going on in his stone, because as you guys know, Orochimaru always tend to have a hand in the underground, he probably played the dumb role to Boruto, but I feel like, he already knew what was going on. That's why he gave, Boruto the idea to go to the Sage Snake Cave, because he was like, look, you can go here, you get this analyzed, but be careful, it's gonna be dangerous. And he just wanted to see how that would turn out for Boruto. I think that was more of him putting Boruto through the trials to make Boruto stronger, to help him get stronger. But I feel like Orochimaru has a bigger idea of what's taking place. Not to mention, Orochimaru probably has a lot of spies and henchmen still lingering around throughout the world, so they might have heard something, they might have been tipped off about what's taking place. Not to mention the ruckus that's been stirred up in the Leaf Village with Yurito being put under the Genjutsu, as well as the detonating clay, blowing him up and quote-unquote betraying the village, but he wasn't really betraying them. He was under Genjutsu the whole entire time. So it's one of those things where we don't necessarily know just yet, but obviously something else is about to take place. I'm really curious to see how this plays out. I'm really curious to see how Mitsuki handles these situations and how he's going to explain this to Boruto, because right off the bat, we had some Naruto Sasuke shit. He just kind of struck him down, but it's not for power. It's more so for the will, because that's the one thing that's Mitsuki difference from Sasuke in this arc. He isn't a person that's looking for power. Mitsuki has the power. He has all the power he needs. He has the Sage mode, and he probably has complete mastery over it. So it's one of those things where we're not worried about Mitsuki going and looking for a power up. We're not looking at the whole idea of him going with this group so he can get stronger, but more so just so he can find out his will. This is more of a personal objective for him. This is something to help his character development and help him proceed as a character. Because when we first saw Mitsuki, how would you feel if Mitsuki stayed a goody-goody? Because when Mitsuki was first introduced to us, he seemed like a goody-goody character that just stayed goody-goody, you know what I'm saying? And it was kind of odd because this guy is Orochimaru's son. How is he going to be goody-goody all the time, you know? And then, not to mention, he's an experiment. So I knew something like this was going to play out, but I didn't think it would play out to this degree. But I'm really, like, really interested in what's going to play out for, you know, the full effect of this, and how is Mitsuki is going to handle those situations when Boruto confronts him again and basically asked him, why did you use the snake run lightning on me and shit like that. I feel like that might be a running joke, and he could have probably said, you know, I did it to protect you, I did it to make sure they didn't kill you, because you obviously didn't realize what type of danger you were in. So that's kind of how I feel about this, and I think Mitsuki has a secret objective, more so hanging out with Orochimaru, and a secret objective more so trying to figure out things about himself. So let me know your personal thoughts and personal opinions. Do you feel like Mitsuki has a secret plan? Do you think he knocked Boruto out just to save his life? That way Kokuyo and Seikei didn't kill him, and he could use that to gain their trust. That way they can figure out more about the enemy's team plan and shit like that. Do you feel like that happened for that reason? Let me know that in the comment section below. And with that being said, my name is Shino Bentro. Stay true and stay real. And until next time, see you guys later. Bye.